Hello YouTubers, Reloading Bench back with you once again. And as you can see, we have a box and we have a dash cam on top of the box. So you can probably put two and two together to guess what's inside the box. So I did a video 2016 installing a very similar, I don't know if this is a Street Guardian or not. I want to say it is a Street Guardian. This is an old Street Guardian from 2018. So I bought a vehicle in 2016, and it was the first vehicle I decided that I'm never going to be without a dash cam again because of the goobers on the road. And nothing says you're lying to me better than a video, or to the judge or to the police. So I won't drive a vehicle without dash cams. So I picked a model like this up for my 2016 vehicle, did the install on it and how I hardwired it and whatnot. And that worked out great. It's still in that vehicle and it still functions. The problem is the sun beats the crap out of these. As you can tell, look at the lens cap. Used to be black, so much fading through so much heat. The heat hasn't warped this. Again, this was pulled from my son's vehicle when he sold it a couple years ago. This is from 2018. So when he got his vehicle in 2018, he put a dash cam in. And when I picked up my most recent vehicle, also in 2018, I put in the current version of this camera from Street Guardian, which is a dual channel. And that, I love that, front and rear, awesome. I wish there was a 4-channel, front, rear, and left side, right side. But in any case, that Street Guardian has worked miracles. Only problem is the sun really kills them. In fact, mine is very warped from the sun, and it also kills the battery in here, so it loses time. So the looping of the video stamp, meaning the overwrite of the older video, has an issue. And the best thing to do from time to time, like every week, is reformat the card so that you know that things are working. And it's best to check these particular devices on a regular basis because of the flakiness of the card and the sun. A few moments later, the coffee break. So again, back to my story. It's been a godsend in my 2016 vehicle. Put one in my 2018 vehicle, and some time between 2018 and I would say last year, maybe the year before, the camera started having issues. So I went out to eBay and bought a replacement. Unfortunately, I got scammed because the replacement didn't really work. So I went into my old camera and took it apart, the screws, and tried to fix it. So I got it working again. I'll call it janky because, once you pop this off and snap it, and it's not really meant to be worked on. So, and because mine's a dual channel, I can't use my son's single channel. So this gets saved for, whenever, one of the other vehicles that has a single channel. But I'm a big fan of the dual channel because of the front and rear. Somebody hits you from the rear, or somebody who does something stupid in front of you, you catch it, and that's great. And I don't want to pay a fortune for these things. And somehow between the cough and electronics and supply and chips and whatnot, these things were dirt cheap pre-cough. Post-cough, all of a sudden they were 3 and 4 times their original cost, which is why I went to eBay to find an older version as opposed to paying top dollar for a new version. Plus I had all my cables run, so I was hoping that buying an existing version would allow me to plug and play and use my existing cables. So fast forward to today. I did the exact same thing because I'm a glutton for punishment. Last week, somebody did something stupid in front of me, and I thought, oh, I got this on camera. I get home. No, files corrupt, and it's a good idea to change the card every once in a while too because of the writes and then the heat. So in any case, I went out to eBay again, or I went out online again to try and find my exact Street Guardian because, again, I'm a coffee sip again. So I'm a big fan of the Street Guardian. Unfortunately, they don't make this model anymore. And again, the new models are ridiculously expensive. So I have found that eBay, online, it's all in timing. Because when I was trying to find the replacement a few years ago, it was tough. It was really tough. And then the pricing was absolutely ridiculous. So this was marketed, and I'm going to think that maybe it's true. This was marketed as brand new, never used, never opened. And based on how nice this looks, I'm going to say, yeah, maybe. Obviously, the card's never been opened, never been inserted. Again, it looks... Oh, that's interesting. That used to be this camera lens protector. That used to be an extra, an up cost, separately available. So what we've got here is a dual channel, the front and rear, that looks exactly like what I have installed in my vehicle. So what I'm hoping is I will pull my version of this out of the vehicle, and this should be all the goodies, the cables, the stickum. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's been opened or used, so that's good stuff. I will pull mine out of the vehicle. I'll even use this sunshade, or this lens shade rather, for UV. I will take this version out of my vehicle, put this one in. Yeah, in fact, I've damaged my, because the buttons wouldn't work, and by pushing them, again, I janky-janked it. But here is the secondary camera and primary. So, and the GPS, and I don't run the GPS. So I am going to hopefully install my card that's in the car right now, format it, and because I think it's a 128 gigabyte, it's either 64 or 128, can't remember, because I don't want to overwrite stuff. I'm going to insert that into the car, format it, and hopefully all will work as this currently does. So yeah, I've got high hopes. Again, I've done this before. The one that I did buy previously did say used, whereas this said not used, new. You never know what to believe with people. But again, I'm going to say that based on the condition of what I'm seeing here, this looks to be in pretty good shape. Yeah, let me go ahead and remove that now, if I can get it. I don't have fingernails. And we will snap this on. That actually goes on nicer. Looks like they've done some modifications, because this one I remember was always a biatch to get on and off. So this one clipped on very nicely. I'll leave that film on until I install it, and then yank it, because Murphy's Law says I will touch it and I'll get fingerprints all over it. So this will go out into the car, and I will bring back my jankety-janked version to show you what the sun has done, and the combination of sun and me. Sun is an S-U-N, not S-O-N. What the sun has done in terms of damage, and then what I've done in terms of damage. And then we'll do a follow-up to see if things work. So more to come. A few moments later. All right, so here was my son's, and here is mine from my vehicle. Again, look at the warping that occurs because of the heat. And I put the plasticky cover back on this. Mine was actually pretty fingerprint free. My lens shield, also different than my son's, a little more form-fitting. Again, a biatch to get off, just because it's so tight. I'm not going to worry about it. But all I did was pull the two cables, the rear camera and then the main USB feed. Made sure everything was, and then put the card from this camera in. And when Street Guardian doesn't like something and you power it up, it'll beep, 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 beep. Especially with a card, you know, if you format your card in your PC and then you try to put it in your car, it's a no-go. Because I think PC defaults, most PCs default to extended FAT32, and I think this is straight up FAT32, not extended, or whatever format it is. So it's better to just pop through the menus, and yeah, as you can see, different button structure. My buttons over time, it's like I didn't even know how that happened. You know, how this kind of just sunk in. So you lose, you know, you can still get tactile feel on the menu, but the power button, that one was just effed. So again, heat and pushing and just melting, melty melt. So this had been very reliable up until, you know, maybe a year or two ago, or that I found out a year or two ago. You should regularly check the cameras for your own benefit. But this still works technically, because when I reformatted the card last week, popped it back in, drove around, I had video. Again, you know, because the battery, I think it's, well, not a battery, I think it's what am I trying to say? Whatever the feature is to retain time, what do they call it? Super capacitor, the capacitor. No battery, a capacitor. Well, the batteries wear out, and so do the capacitors. So this would always default to, you know, a time of 2018 for whatever reason. So again, anything newer, you know, wouldn't overwrite, or I had issues with overwriting and looping, or I was just getting corrupt video. So suffice to say, it was time to go, time for a change. So in comes. Not that that will work. In comes a replacement. It took all of, you know, 2 minutes. I powered it up, had the card in there, went into the menus. First thing I did was format the card to see if it would freak out and beep, 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 which it did not. So that told me it accepted the card that's in there. So it wasn't, you know, super, super picky on the card. Maybe I'll use this as an extra video card for this camera so that when I run low, I'll have extra memory, extra storage capacity. Went through the menus, set the date, the time, all the features, you know, no, screensaver, you know, all that stuff. And again, it was, you know, it was very easy because it wasn't hacked up like this one was. So I have, again, no complaints on the Street Guardian product. The sun is just a bear, you know, and we live in the desert, so, you know, the sun is, in the summer months, just brutal. Wasn't as bad. It looks like, yeah, same kind of, you know, maybe better venting with these big vents and these little holes. I don't know. But in any case, my son survived better. It's not as old as this one. Again, this is from 2018, so this is 6 years old. This is what six years does to a Street Guardian. But I have nothing negative to say about the Street Guardian. I love this particular product, the dual channel. I wish they would have never stopped making this, but obviously they have a new version. And I don't like the new version's rear camera. I actually like this particular little wedge because it fits very nicely against the rear, the back window, very stealthy, and it's off towards the side of the window, so you really don't notice it unless you're looking for it. And then, you know, with the built-in cameras that the vehicle has, it's all good stuff. So this hopefully is a win. This was less than half of what I paid for my broken scam one a year or plus ago. So I am hopefully making up for that. So dollar cost averaging is still a bit of money, but the peace of mind having a front and rear camera while you're driving, in addition to whatever's built into the vehicle, and can't, in my opinion, can't have enough, because there are just too many goobers out on the road. So that is it for now. Good driving. Take care. Be safe.